will be on our YouTube channel for hearings, the PSC's YouTube channel for hearings. And I'm going to explain the process as we when we get started, but essentially we're here to check in documents and take comments. Got another minute to go. All right, looks like the system's all running, so we can get started. Waiting for the bell to ring. No. And someone just joined us. Okay. This person in. All right, great. Let's get started. This is docket 4350 WR104, the application of the City of Oconto for authority to adjust water rates. My name is Michael Newmark, the Administrative Law Judge for the PSC, and we are here on Zoom. We're also holding this hearing in Oconto City Hall Council Chambers. Hang on just a second, some other people joining us now. Okay. And we're here to create the record in the case. So the record is consists of the documents we identify and verify under oath. Those become exhibits. And we will also take public comments live. I'm sorry, we'll take comments first from the utility, then commission staff, and then from the public. That'll be live. That'll be on our YouTube recording. So that'll be part of the record as well. The recording is part of the record. And we're also accepting written comments from the public. Those are due no later than July 3rd, and they can be filed on the commission's website or mailed to us. And I'm displaying that on the screen share. I don't know if people in council chambers are going to be able to see that, but it'll be on the live stream recording as well. That's the link and the QR code to send comments to us, as well as the mailing address. So if you do wish to file a written comment, you feel free to do that as long as we get it by the July 3rd. Okay, we have no comments in file as of Monday morning. So I haven't checked today, but as of yesterday morning, we had no comments. So what we do with the record is we provide it to the decision maker in the case. And in this case, it's Andy Galvin, the administrator for the Division of Water, Utility, Regulation, and Analysis. So Andy will review the record and make a decision, and then a written order will issue. It'll be emailed to the utility and posted on the commission's website. I'll let someone else in here. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. So that's our basic process. Usually like I mentioned before, we take the utility first, get their documents checked in, get any comments from them. We'll do the same for commission staff, and then we'll open it up to members of the public to comment. So at this time, I'm going to display the list of documents we have compiled here, and the commission staff case coordinator here, Eric Lindgren, has sent out an email to utility and commission staff. And he lists here the documents that have been identified for the record coming from the utility side. So basically, they're mostly the application documents, response to data requests from the from commission staff. And but the one document, the resolution for the PFP tariff, The one document we'll start off verifying is the customer notice. And let's have someone from the utility that feels comfortable to verify that document under oath. Who do we have that can do that for us?
Matt Beekman, the utility manager.
Okay, Matt. So I'm going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, so just state your name and title, please.
My name is Matthew Beekman, utility manager, City of Oconto.
All right, so dealing first with the customer notice. First of all, can you see the screen share on that I'm showing?
Yes.
List of documents, yeah, okay. So I just opened up the public notice that's on file, and it's basically just the notice, looks like the text of the notice. So are you familiar with that document?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and so is that document the notice that customers received?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and how did customers get notified?
Through mailing and posted on our city webpage.
Okay, it was a special mailing?
Correct. To every
Okay.
resident.
Okay. All right, and so let me ask you, do you feel comfortable with verifying any other documents here, or do you need someone else, maybe more, who's intimately involved with the case? Do you want them to verify the rest?
I'll verify what I can, and then if I have
Okay.
questions financially,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the last sentence you said.
I'll verify as far as everything physically I know. If there's anything financial, I'll have to swear in.
Anything financial? Okay, so yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. So like the only thing I don't see the only thing I see that maybe not financial is the resolution to change the PFP tariff. So is that a document you recognize?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So is that complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So
Yes.
then so the other ones look like more technical documents. So we have someone else in attendance that can verify those.
Brittany Burrell, City Administrator.
Okay, great. So before I let you go, Matt, just wondered, do you have anything else you'd like to add, a comment to tell the decision maker in the case?
Everything's complete.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So we'll move on to the other documents. And it's Brittany, is that right?
Yep,
So let me swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, so state your name and title, please.
Brittany Burrell, City Administrator.
Okay, and so the remaining documents, so they're labeled with bulleted numbers here. So can you see the screen share?
Yes,
List of documents, yeah. So other than documents numbered 1 and 4, are you familiar with those documents, the remaining documents?
yes,
And are they complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes.
Okay. So do you have any comment you'd like to add?
I do not.
All right. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on behalf of the utility?
Attorney Frank Calvert.
Okay, so let me swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, state your name and position, please.
Attorney Frank Calvert. I'm the city attorney.
Okay, go ahead.
The utility had asked that I comment on their desire to change the tariff language in this case.
And which tariff are we talking about?
The tariff language with regard to charging for fire protection.
Okay, the PFP tariff. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The utility wishes to change the tariff language. It's not so much that it would change the practices of the utility. The utility wants to change the tariff language to meet what they have been doing for the last 35 years. the utility had been operating under the directives of section 19603, in that the municipal water utility may elect to charge parcels that do not have general water service. That was up to them, whether they wish to charge those parcels or not charge those parcels. The utility had not been, but have been recently directed by the PSC that given the present tariff language, they were required to. And so that's why they're looking to change the tariff language to meet what they've been doing from the past. The utility does not wish to charge adjacent parcels to properties that have general water service. That is vacant parcels that are yards and just part of that residential property. They don't feel that's fair, and we don't want to force residents into having to do certified survey maps to take care of that problem. Also, we would note that we do not wish to charge vacant lots that are in undevelopable areas and actually don't have water service available. It does not, to the utility, feel fair and just to charge those lots. I would note for the city of Oconto, we have substantial areas that are not developable. We are in wetland areas, and so there are a substantial number of vacant lots, which the utility does not want to be forced to charge for fire protection when there is not water service, there are not fire hydrants in those areas. So that's why the current tariff language, as we've been told by the PSC, requires charging of all of these vacant lots. No vacant lots can be exempted, we're told, under the current language. The utility wishes to amend that language so that they are not required to charge those vacant lots. Again, what they're looking to do is not change their practices at all. They're looking to get this tariff language to what the utility has been doing for the last 35 years and not unjustly and unequitably charge these property owners within the city. That's what the utility wanted me to note in this case. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate your comment. Thank you very much. Anyone else wish to speak on behalf of the utility?
No.
No? All right, great. So we'll move on to commission staff's documents, and I'm going to turn on that annoying screen share again. People have their opinions about it, but I think it's useful. So we have the staff documents, and let me find my Zoom screen here. I'm just going to remove the hearing room from the spotlight and put in, there we go, the gallery view. All right, so I think we have revenue requirement up with Kathleen Butzlaff. So I can unmute you from here. I can find you. There we go. All right, great. So raise your right hand. I'll swear you in. I got you unmuted in case you're looking for.
Okay,
Do you
thank you.
swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, and the revenue requirement exhibit, Kathleen, well, let me just ask you to introduce you. You're Kathleen Butzlaff, commission staff, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. There's a lot of people watching, so I want to make sure we have everyone introduced. So we have the revenue requirement exhibit. Are you familiar with that document?
Yes, I am.
And is that complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any comments?
I do have a couple comments
Okay.
to point out several things in my exhibit, the revenue requirement proposal, specifically in the cover letter.
Okay.
And the first thing I would like to point out is on page 2, as it is common in these rate cases, there are several accounting related recommendations that were made to the utility. A few of them are just improvements for the future, but as you can see by that accounting entry, there were also a few things that the utility needed to do and amend the 2024 PSC annual report prior to the hearing. The utility did do this, and they filed the amended PSC report on June 27th, 2025. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. Then on page 3 of my exhibit, and yeah, it's pretty much covered on page 3, commission staff pointed out that the utility had not been applying its tariff and it had some back bills to make. So I have a statement to further explain this as well.
Okay, yeah,
So,
go ahead.
so as I explained on page 3 of this revenue requirement cover letter, commission staff discovered the applicant was not billing as many as 496 customers for the public fire protection or PFP charge. The applicant was directed to comply with its current tariff. In addition, the applicant was directed to issue back bills and submit this document prior to the hearing. In another data request issued on May 2nd, 2025, commission staff explained that 79 customers were due refunds of certain PFP charges. The applicant was directed to provide documentation of the refunds issued to each of the 79 customers, including interest and of any PFP payments made by the customers totaling more than what was back billed for the customer. Commission staff also directed that the applicant identify any lots that were legally exempt from PSC charges such as those by the DNR or DOT. The applicant has not verified it is applying the current tariff and has not submitted any documentation that back bills or refunds were issued. In addition, the applicant did not identify any lots that are legally exempt from PFP charges. Commission staff recommends that the following order conditions be included in the final decision. The first one, within 30 days of the date of the final decision, the applicant shall confirm that it is charging the current direct public fire protection rates as authorized in the current tariff and will continue to charge the current direct public fire protection rates until the new rates in this final decision become effective. And secondly, within 45 days of the date of the final decision, the applicant shall correct any incorrect billing issues related to the direct public fire protection charges and submit a summary of the back bills and refunds related to direct public fire protection charges. As part of this filing, the applicant shall also identify any lots that are legally exempt from the PFP charges. Thank you.
Okay, great, thanks. All right. So, so I guess I heard the utilities comment on the proposed tariff change. Does it have a comment on the compliance with the what PSC staff has indicated, compliance with the current tariff?
Yes, this is Attorney Frank Calvert. We would have a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
We would just note that this there is not a final determination yet in this. This matter is on appeal at this point to the Circuit Court of Oconto County. And there has been no directive or final decision as yet from the Circuit Court. That has not yet been argued to the Circuit Court.
Okay, so just to be clear, that when you say this, you mean the commission's decision in docket 4350 CC 244121?
I believe so. I don't have that number in front of me to compare them, but
Okay.
it was from that determination in that order of the PSC that there has been an appeal.
Your Honor,
Okay.
this is Sophia Rogers for commission staff. That pending litigation does not stay the rate case in this proceeding, and it doesn't alter the existing tariff. We have a prohibition on retroactive rate making in Wisconsin. The CC docket it came in as a consumer complaint type docket, and it was not an order in a rate case.
Mhm.
It was a completely different type of case, and the discussion in it is subject to appeal, but it's not controlling here.
Yeah, so let me just confirm. So Attorney Rogers, you're an attorney with the Public Service Commission representing commission staff, is that correct?
That is correct. And with me is Attorney Kara Kuntz.
Okay, great, thanks. And it's kind of unusual that we have legal issues in these smaller muni rate cases. So I guess I apologize. I failed to take appearances of attorneys representing the various sides here that we usually do in more complex rate case matters. But let's just make sure the record's clear. Attorney Rogers, was I correct in citing the commission complaint docket? And I'll just read the number again. It's 4350 CC 244121.
That's correct.
Okay, and in that case, I'm to be honest with you, I'm not familiar with the details of this. I was not involved in any way. But I'm assuming this is a complaint about the PFP charges, and the commission rendered a decision that now the utility is disputing, and that's the case we're talking about.
That's correct.
Okay, so yeah, so what I'm going to do is this is a contested case, although a municipal rate case we usually try to handle in a more informal way. But this is a contested case where parties do have a right to file legal briefs. So and that's something we can set up now at the hearing. If the only party in this case is the applicant. So if the party does wish to brief that issue in a legal brief, I can set a schedule for that, which wouldn't be very complicated since you're the since you're the only party. So our rules, Wisconsin Administrative Code, Chapter PSC 2.26 allows parties to brief uncontested case. If the applicant does wish to file a legal argument about the applicability of the old tariff and changes needed, and also the impact of the consumer complaint case on this decision that will be rendered in this rate case, it may do so. Usually, I can set a date for the brief if the parties, if the applicant has a desire to file a brief in this case.
We would ask for a schedule on that, yes.
Okay, so I can give you 2 weeks. I don't know if staff has any, well, let me ask first if staff has any expectation of when, well, let me ask anyone, if you have an expectation when the order in this case should issue. I don't want to delay that by adding the brief, but that is an opportunity that we should be providing in this. So is a 2-week briefing period too long for the process, or is that?
That's reasonable, Judge.
Be okay. All right. So let's see. It's the 1st with the holiday. I think if we did it on the 15th, that should give you plenty of time. If you want to brief the legal issues that you see in the case. And I'm sorry, I forgot your name, the city attorney.
Frank Gilbert, thank you.
Gilbert. Okay, yeah, Attorney Gilbert. So we'll see your brief then filed 1:30 p.m. on July 15th. And there won't be, commission staff doesn't file a brief, although they can advise the decision maker. So there'll be no reply because commission staff won't be filing a brief on that. So but it's good to get your arguments in writing and get that all laid out before the decision maker. So I appreciate you doing that. And it's your right. So I just want to make sure we affect all the rights that you have in the process.
Judge Newmark, this is Attorney Kara Kuntz for the Public Service Commission. I just wanted to also reiterate that the pending litigation in the Oconto Circuit Court is related to a request for formal review, which was denied by the commission. It's separate from this rate proceeding. There's been no order by the court staying this proceeding, so absent that, the case continues.
Yeah, I understand how I'll let you just your statement sit on the record as it is. I'm not going to comment on that. So thanks. Okay, so we have Kathleen, we have your testimony covered. Anything you wanted to add?
Nothing further.
Okay, great. All right, so we move on to cost, service study, and rate design. Eric Lindgren, are you there somewhere? There you are. You said so quiet and peaceful. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, so cost of service study and rate design exhibit. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
And is it complete and correct to the best of your knowledge? The revised version, that is it complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And let's see, I think that's all. Do you have any comments you'd like to make?
Not at this time.
Okay. Well, let me just ask, I'll ask you, does the rate design include the new PFP tariff? Is that what was anticipated by staff?
Correct. It includes the new language.
Okay, okay. And then we'll see that and if that tariff is approved, it'll be attached to the order, to the final decision.
Correct.
Okay, so I want to make sure everyone understands that. All right, and this point then, I don't have any more information from staff or the utility, so we can open up the process to public comment. So we did have a number of people here, and so for the people who are in the council chambers, I guess we took everyone else at the table, so if you want to remain seated and we can take your comment there. I knew there was at least one person who wanted to comment in council chambers. Is that still the case? We have at least one person?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll spotlight the hearing room there, the council chambers. So who wished to speak? I'll just have you raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, state your name, please.
Michael Felt.
All right, so go ahead with your comment.
First comment is in regards to scheduling of this hearing. It came as a surprise to many residents due to a couple, I guess, issues that seem to be out of anybody's real control, but just wondering when the PSC actually made this notification to the utility of this hearing. It's kind of difficult for people to attend at this time with such short notice, and plus anybody that wishes to comment basically only has one day if they're supposed to do it by mail to notify the PSC. So this timing is creates kind of a negative impact, like something's trying to be hidden, which nobody's really alleging that. It's just that this all came as a kind of a surprise and with short notice. Then a lot of my questions were answered through the prior discussion, but wondering how this pending litigation may affect this approval of this rate increase. And with this amendment to the language of the tariff, along with the pending litigation, wondering, is it best, or what does it look like that litigation needs to be determined before moving ahead with any rate increase, with the potential of, with this impacting this 496 customers and the 79 people do refunds, that additional revenue potential for imposing or following that tariff, if that part of it should be taken care of before any rate increases approved.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I can't answer your question on the legal matters. We'll let the utility file its brief, and the decision maker will have to review the legal arguments there. I have my own theories, but I'm not involved in making that decision, so I'm not going to opine on what should be done in this case. So, But I appreciate you bringing that to our attention and the fact that as a customer, you're concerned about the integration of the legal issue there and the refund what's been rendered by commission staff as being a non-tariff charge and requiring refunds for some and possibly charges for others in the past practice under the old tariff, and how that would implicate what the commission does and what the utility would have to do going forward and with the new tariff. Those are definitely open issues that the decision maker will have to think about. So I appreciate you bringing that up. So anyone else in the hearing room want to make a comment? Yes, you got you get your right hand up, I think already. I have to switch it in my mind here. So yeah, so let me swear you in. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, give us your name and comment, please.
D. Donlevy. I'm an alder for the city of Oconto, and I was very interested in this. I'm getting a lot of negative feedback from our citizens, basically on social media, that they were not notified. And to Mike's point, the question, when was the utility notified that this was going to happen, this hearing?
Yeah, I don't have the details in that. I mean, commission staff, our normal process that commission staff works with the utility to set the hearing date. And then both of the notices that are one's issued by the commission and one's issued by the utility to its customers. So those notices are coordinated and issued, so the utility knows when has advance notice of the hearing date, and we work together to make that happen. The commission's notice must issue at least 10 working days before the hearing, and so we issued our notice on June 13th. And it looks like we got the notice that the utility needed to issue to inform its customers. We received a copy on June 25th, but if the utility wants to explain a little bit more about what it did, I know Matt did explain that before. In terms of the timing, if you want to just give us an idea of when the letter went out to customers, that may alleviate some of the concern. As far as I can see, from what I'm seeing here in the documentation and testimony that was given, that the utility and the PSC complied with the notice requirements that we need to make, and looks like the utility did as well. And I guess if the utility wanted to just add, to the extent that it knows, it knows, but to the extent it wants to share the process, looks like what I understand is that the utility commission usually goes through a process where it reviews the rates and decides to apply for a rate increase, and will review what's being proposed. So those typically happen in public meeting as well. So if the utility just wants to explain a little bit more about the process it took to notify customers and whether the decision to go forward with a rate case was a public decision, that would maybe be useful to everyone.
Can you make a comment before Matt responds?
Sure. I don't really like to do this, but go ahead.
The comment that I would like to make is basically I want to ensure that our city workers had time to prepare what they needed to prepare and get it mailed out the door. As an alder, I have not even yet received a letter. And I have Mike sitting next to me who received the letter but has an incorrect address. So I'm trying to figure out where the disconnect is. And again, we have citizens that are very concerned that are just getting the letter the day before.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Okay. Yeah, if the city utility just wants to comment on that. Go ahead.
Matt Beekman, utility manager. On the 24th is when all the envelopes were stuffed and they're mailed on Wednesday morning, the 25th, delivered right to the post office here in Oconto. As far as why it took them 4 business days to get them mailed within the city, I don't understand that issue. I have no control over it.
Okay, and then you said it was also on a website as well?
Yeah, the 25th is when it was posted on the city website.
City website, okay. So I know the cities, municipalities can rely on notices on its website in certain circumstances. Not quite versed in that, but you did the mailing, which is what we require. So the timing might have been unfortunate. Hopefully people have notice now, can get their comment in online, especially would be useful if they do wish to comment. They have the entire, up until the very end of July 3rd to get that comment in. I mean, if it's, I can extend that to, it's not really a problem. We will be waiting until we get the brief in. I mean, well, let's just make the comment period right now. We'll just set it to July 15th so it matches the brief deadline. That this way people who may have not got that mailing yet can get their comment in. There'll be plenty of time to mail something in. And although it's easy to, if you don't have internet access, certainly you need to mail it. But the comment page on our website is pretty simple to navigate. So so Eric, if you can just extend the public comment period online to July 15th, and we'll accept comments both through the website and by mail up until that date.
Okay, I will also just wanted to mention,
Yeah,
in regards to some of the questions, the utility was sent or notified of the hearing on of the July 1st hearing on June 3rd. They were sent the copy of the customer notice as well as the notice instructions.
okay, great. Okay, so anyone else in the hearing room? Sorry, council chambers wish to make a comment?
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't quite hear that.
Oh, anyone else in council chambers wish to make a comment? Well, let's move on to Zoom and see. I know Jay Kramer had indicated a comment, so you're on the phone right now. So I'll ask you if you'd like to make a comment now, Jay.
Yes, I'd like to make a comment.
All right, let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or
All
affirm
right.
the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
That is correct.
All right, state your name, please, and give us your comment.
Okay, this is Jay Kramer from Oconto. And I have a question. I think the gentleman with the white hat is Michael or something like that. I just want to talk about that and also talk about what Dee had to say. I received the notice yesterday, and it was, well, we get our mail at 4 o'clock or so. So I didn't open it till 8 o'clock, and it was like, holy smokes, we got a meeting at 11 o'clock the next day. And I think it's just terrible timing as far as giving, now my letter was postmarked on the 25th. I got it yesterday. And so it's a very short time period. Most people, as far as the hearing, being 11 o'clock, a lot of people are working. And thank God Dee's there. Our only older person that I know of is there. Most probably can't attend either. And not having, representation, I think, is a problem. Another point that I'd like to make out is it looks like on this notice here that the utility was short by about $36,000. Now, it would be interesting to know if that is just because of conservation that people have installed in their house to conserve water, or is there some other reason? And also, piggybacking on that is there going to be any improvements made to the city water that's going to apply to the city customers? Also, I did some calculation. If it's $36,000, that's only $8 a person per year that would be needed to cover that decrease in revenue.
Okay. So maybe it would be helpful if the utility can just give us a sense of what what was driving the increase in rates.
I guess I'll go. We weren't requesting an increase in rates. All we were requesting was the public fire protection changes in wording.
Mhm.
Rate increase was determined by the PSC
Okay.
based on what we provided for
Your-
financials. It is my understanding of it.
Your Honor, it's a rate decrease.
So at this point, it's a decrease in rates. Oh yeah, look at that. It says decrease in water revenues requested. Well, it was requested decrease. Is that
I think
correct,
witness, our auditor can speak to that. Witness Butzloff.
Mhm.
If you don't mind, could you explain the main drivers and the overall impact?
Yes, I can speak to that. It is also in my exhibit. The utility actually filed an application requesting a 28% rate increase and explained the primary reason for filing the rate increase was to modify the tariff language for the public fire protection charge. Based on my review of the application and the recent commission annual reports, the utility actually made a few errors in the application. The largest error was they omitted volume sales for the customers. So on Schedule 4 of my exhibit, I detailed that line by line, how I corrected the utility exhibits for the omitted volume sales and made several other smaller adjustments. And then at the bottom of Schedule 4, the staff recommended change in rates is a 3% rate decrease. So a rate decrease of 36,156.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, my review showed that the utility on an overall level was earning approximately what we would determine to be reasonable. Just a very small rate decrease, a 3% is what I calculated. Then I turn the work papers and all my information over to Eric, who does the cost of service study and rate design. So even though the overall annual revenues of the utility are forecast to decrease approximately $36,000, the cost of service study could show that different rates may increase or decrease and different customer classes may be impacted differently. So
Okay.
that's our standard process.
And I know you don't create the cost service study, but the basic principle, as far as you understand, is that the driver of the cost is charged for that cost, depending on the class of service.
Yes, if you have any more questions, that would be Eric's work.
Okay. All right, so I think we covered Jay's issues. And I do hope I do hope we can, by extending the comment period, we can resolve the hardship caused by the late well, I won't say late, but it was the notice getting the customers so close to the hearing. I guess I didn't know from the utility if the decision to file the case or review of the proposals, was that something that the utility commission did in open meeting, or something that was noticed to customers?
I know it was, I don't have the month it was discussed in front of me, but I know we discussed it to pursue the wording change for the public fire protection.
Okay, that was, I mean, the commission needs to meet in open meeting, right?
Yes, it was discussed.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yeah, go ahead, Attorney Ryan.
wondering if there's anything that the applicant can do to get the word out about the extension of the public comment period. Perhaps it has a website. I'm not sure if people receiving these notices are gonna know to could still try going to the website, and try entering a public comment if they see that, it was supposed to be ended sooner. Is there any way to get the word out? This is really a question for the applicant, about that extension.
Sure, what the applicant willing to do to notify customers of the extended comment period?
Yeah, we can post that extension on our website, on our Facebook, and then at, here at City Hall.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and spread the word. I mean, we're discussing this in open hearing, so I'm hoping people will know, will hear, and can spread the word about that. There's definitely enough time for people to get that information. So we efforts of the utility and the people present today will get the word out of that. All right, so let's move on. There's someone connected with screen name iPhone, and I see you there. So if you do want to comment, unmute and let me know who you are. So I can unmute you from here.
Can you do that? There you go.
Any comment from you, iPhone?
Yes.
Let me know who you are then.
First off, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Douglas Dietrich. I've been a resident of Oconto for the past 11 years.
All right, so raise your hand and then we can get your comment in. So raise your right hand. Do you
Yes,
swear
sir.
or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, so just state your name for the record.
All right, my name is Douglas Dietrich. As I stated, I've been a resident of Oconto for the past 11 years.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot of discrepancies and misunderstandings in this letter to begin with. That it seems like more of you are having a problem understanding it as well as what was sent to the residents. So, what I would like to do is just go ahead with what I'd already had prepared with the short notice. I did receive this just yesterday, and at the same time, I have to say I heard earlier Matt Beekman say that these were sent out early, and I also have a postage date of June 25th of 2025, so I can't confirm that it's. I don't understand why it would have taken so long for us to get these.
Okay.
All right. So first off, I'd like to say good morning. Again, my name is Douglas Dietrich. I've been a resident of Oconto for the last 11 years. And I rise today with significant concerns regarding the process and substance of this meeting. Firstly, I only received notice of this sometime between 10:30 to 11:30 yesterday, affording me less than 24 hours to adequately prepare. The abbreviated time frame raises serious doubts about whether all residents, particularly those dependent upon postal delivery or even unavailable to, due to employment obligations, were actually provided this in a timely manner. The Public Service Commission's guidelines underscore the importance of equitable participation, mandating sufficient opportunity to review and respond to substantial rate change proposals. So I'm respectfully requesting that this hearing is rescheduled to a later date that ensures comprehensive and meaningful community engagement. Secondly, I'd like to address the rate adjustment in light of a troubling oversight. The letter received last month disclosed that Oconto failed to report lead levels for the year of 2024. And upon reviewing the consumer confidence reports myself, I actually found this discrepancy tends to extend to 2021, 2022, as well as 2023. That's a span of 4 years. This persistent lack of transparency regarding lead, a well-documented public health hazard, severely undermines trust within our community. Even in the context of revenue decrease, any rate increase must be predicated on the assurance of accurate and complete water quality data. So I'm strongly urging the council to postpone this adjustment until full compliance with reporting obligations is both restored and verified. Thirdly, this situation bears an unsettling resemblance to the Flint, Michigan crisis, where delayed reporting of lead contamination precipitated severe health consequences. The Safe Drinking Water Act holds accountable those responsible, be it staff, management, or oversight entities. For such lapses, approving a rate hike without addressing this negligence simply risks rewarding inaction. I therefore call for an independent investigation with its findings made publicly available prior to any further consideration of this rate increase. Aside from that, I would like to thank you for your time, and more importantly, thank you for your attention to this matter.
All right, thanks very much, Douglas. All right, so we have Douglas has spoken and Jay. I don't see anyone else online from the public, and we've given everyone in the council chambers an opportunity to speak. So at this point, I think we have everything we need for the record. Like I mentioned, we will have an extended notice period, sorry, an extended comment period. And hopefully we'll get more comments in the record. So I did receive a message from Eric that there's one comment now on file on the website. So that's good, and sure we'll be getting more now, so excellent. And we'll be looking forward to the party brief on the 15th. Otherwise, is there anything else we need to address before we adjourn? Okay, not hearing anything. So thanks very much, everyone. I appreciate everyone's participation and interest in the case. And we'll see you next time. So thanks very much. We're adjourned. Take care.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.